So for people that don't know you, you are Jus-P The Black Menace. You're from Jamaica, Queens. Is that where you still live, or is that just where you're from?
Well, I'm from Huntington, Long Island. I
I
left
saw that.
I left in like right after high school, and that's like in 2000. That's over, what's that, 26 years ago? You know what I
Okay.
mean? But I'm from Jamaica basically. You know what I mean? Sometimes I live in Brooklyn. I was just in the Bronx. I just moved back to Jamaica, but I'd be around. I went to high school in Atlanta for a little minute, but basically Queens. You know what I'm saying? Jamaica, Queens is where I'm at right now. I'm actually I'm in South Jamaica, right? And if you can remember the Lex, Coops, Beamers, and the Benz, right? I was about to say Lost Tribe, Lost Boys, right? That park is right on the corner. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at, I'm right over
Okay.
there. I'm in South Jamaica, Queens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, historic.
Yeah. There's a mural not too far from over there, from here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to
Nice.
Thai. You know what I mean?
Well, if you don't mind, I was gonna just read a brief description of you, and then from there we'll get started with your connections in Queens and in New York. All right. So he's known for his sharp, gritty lyricism, streetwise content, and contributions to independent underground hip hop scenes. Queens representative by way of Long Island. And his style emphasizes hard-hitting bars, themes of struggle, resilience, street life, and hip-hop authenticity. And you're honestly, like, once I tapped into you, you're one of my favorite rappers.
I
You
appreciate
definitely
it.
bring that, like, dark, gritty, aggressive, hard-hitting boom bap.
Right.
And honestly you work with a collective of producers over the years. Everything from boom bap stuff like Prodigy all the way to like newer, more eclectic sounds like G Clef, Mad Composer. Yeah, so that's one of your newer projects, Xavier and Logan.
Right.
I would like to know more about that. I'd like to know, first of all, working with a producer who, he does, he works with the machines, but then he busts out the saxophone, and like, how does that process work?
So man, I've known G Clark for a long time. So Clef does hip hop real well. He can rhyme, he produces, but getting ahead. So he did jazz. He's like, that's like a whole nother world where he's like under Weldon Irvine. He's like a jazz legend, but he also did hip hop. So he had the ghetto Philharmonic back then, way back in the day type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then he got with Jizza Entertainment, and when he started getting into more hip hop, like I guess after Ghetto Philharmonic, he did The Lost Secret, which was a group signed to Jizza Entertainment, and that's where he kind of basically met a lot of the Wu-Tang affiliates. So years later, he started chambermusic.com and Chamber Music Records, and he put out all the artists basically that didn't really get a shot that were kind of Wu affiliated, you know what I mean? And then me, when like I've always been doing like rhyming, you know what I'm saying? Like no matter what. But like I am who I am, like life, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm from the Zulu Nation. And so I was rhyming, and then I remember doing an album with like people from like my Zulu chapter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me, like, all right, my first project, the Essence and shit like that. I remember pressing up CDs, going to the it's so long ago too, but going to cafe, going to laundromat, paying like $2 and getting the people's like emails or whatever addresses and mailing them fucking my CD, you know what I'm saying? Basically my demo. I did that. It was something called the Connects list, and it was like music industry contacts. And I dead ass did that once I pressed up my first CDs, right? I was always looking for shit to do, how to get my shit out there, you know what I mean? No matter what I'm doing. Same shit now, no matter what happens in my life, I'm still trying to push the needle even a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I remember it's when I first like LimeWire, it's when I first dead ass got like a laptop and like LimeWire and all shit like that. And then when I came across like that particular Wu-Tang world, you know what I'm saying? Like on the internet, you see chamber music, all the affiliates, and it's like all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is way back then, right? Like 2008. Clef had put out Don Pacino's album, a Buddha Monk album, and then I think when we first met, it was Capadonna Slang Editorial. You know what I'm saying? So Clef had something, an offer for all artists, like independent artists, on his website. He'll put it up on his website, and something. It was something. But I just remember, all right, cool, seeing that online, I'm gonna send whatever I had. So I had my first mixtape, then I got with my Zulu group and they pressed up. So all I had was like that particular album. So I gave Clef that album, right? So when I go to drop the CDs off, his wife Maui comes to the door and she's like, oh, Capadonna's downstairs, don't come downstairs. And I hand him the box of CDs and I'm out, whatever. And then he hits me back like, yo, that's the greatest thing ever. I want to fuck with you guys. And that's how I started fucking with Clef. So Clef has like a whole super hip hop chamber, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he does the jazz type shit. So like years later, that's in fucking 09. I put albums out with him. A lot of my first albums are through chamber music. The Hand of Judgment, Super Friends 1 and 2, a lot of my albums. But I think in 16, and also not even, he would put me with a lot of other people albums. Like I was on Holocaust album. I've done a bunch of Solomon Child's album. So it was cool to work with that. And he always puts me on business. Now, even today, I got to call Clef tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So I think those beats, he had like 10 beats that he was just sitting on. Because Clef don't really like, he does mad shit. So he's not just sitting making beats. He had 10 beats, you know what I'm saying? And I remember maybe in like 16, 17, right? 2017, I go to his crib and we do those beats. I record and then I go back to my life type shit. He had moved from New York because he was out here at one point. Then he moved to Pennsylvania. I went out there, did that shit, and that's that. I go to prison, and then for a couple of years, just like that, I come home, and I like. It's also worthy to note, I wanted to do kind of what I'm doing now, which is release projects every couple of months because you kind of seen how the game is changing. But that's not always hard, but it's kind of a task, you know what I'm saying? Plus, let life be life, and as they say, right? So especially my life is crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to do that before prison, you know what I'm saying? And then prison. So when I come home, whatever I'm sitting on, I wanted to drop, you know what I'm saying? So I dropped whatever we had, which was Tried by 12, my album with Innocent. I had done that before prison, and then I dropped that. And I came home during the pandemic, and then we revisited. What's crazy is Clef had went through like a crazy health issue, so then he had to take care of himself. So that was like another year, you know what I'm saying? So it's COVID, then it's like Clef is sick, and then me, I just keep working. So when we finally came back to it, we touched it up, we did new tracks, and then that's what we dropped, you know what I'm saying? When we had the time, we dropped it. We had a couple, like the Logan and Xavier came, that idea came like later on. It wasn't always the idea for the album, but after we came back to it, that's what we did. But what was interesting is that it's those type of beats. One of them's a Weldon Irvine sample. They're like super jazzy, and I mean it's not necessarily a challenge for me. It's always cool to like do different things. You know what I mean? So yeah. I like that album. I like that album a lot.
So that album, it just came out in 2025 or 2024. It's fairly new. Yeah, that was the culmination of 4 or 5 years worth of work then.
Yeah. Which is crazy, you know. Okay. Which is crazy.
Right, yeah.
It's ill because I don't know. Like if I would have done that before prison, it might have just been like another project, you know what I mean? Like another whatever. But we both went through like a crucible, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a ill kind of celebration or a testament, you know what I mean?
So if I could ask you something personal, who were you before you went to prison, and who were you when you came out?
Shit. That's fucking like world class journalism question right there. That's good. um who was I? Man. Like before, I would I like all right. I'm very adaptable and capable in mad different situations. So I was like the music stays constant since I was a kid, but like I might live different places and gotta be known for different things. And I just was known for doing some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But
I can
no.
relate for sure.
But I don't know. Like I do know. I mean, like I'm just smarter now, but I'm more in control. Like now, I'm able to pick and choose where I lend my energy or God power, presence, and shit like that. Where before it might have been crew decisions, and you know what I'm saying, or it might have been
For
like,
other people.
or you might have been a roommate. I might stay at your house, and now it's like, you know what I mean. But like no lie, I'm glad I went to prison because I might have been still doing dumb shit, honestly, you know, or have a completely different life. I remember one time I was a bouncer at night. I had a night job, you know what I'm saying? Any night job, like a blessing now is that I work in the daytime and I'm able to do what I want to do. I have more time and money to do what I want to do. Whereas I had money, but I used to work like 6 nights a week, 5 nights a week, sometimes 3, 4. So, you know, the blessing now is that I'm able to pick and choose. Like you see now, what is it? Saturday night? It's Saturday night?
Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Like before prison, we might not even be able to do this at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna be in somebody's bar trying to sell a bunch of cocaine, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean? My phone will be every 5 minutes, or you know what I mean, my mind will be somewhere else. Where now I'm not going anywhere unless it's like I came to the video shoot. I come home. Now I'm not even thinking about, oh, I can go over here and do that. I don't have a but I've been living alone since like a teenager. And I used to always have a bunch of people in my house. One, because I was one of the first like independent people, but I don't have that now. You know what I mean? It's just little differences where now I'm more in control of my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sad that I had to go to prison to do that, to learn that, but I learned it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I had the same experience. I grew up and lived in a bunch of different places, and I kind of had to be a chameleon.
Right,
But
right, right.
but I also like felt like I had to act crazy to get acceptance, to make
Mhm.
friends, because I was always having to make new friends. And yeah, I was like crazy Jay Gray for a while, and I didn't go to prison, but I kind of fell into my own prison of alcohol and
Right,
drug
right, right.
abuse. And yeah, so having gone through that and come out on the other side, definitely a different person.
And I went to prison like later on in life. I didn't go as like a teenager. Even I went to prison in like my 30s, you know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
spent a lot of like it's cool as far as like stories and stuff, people like shit to relate to kind of people, but all those years, what did I like? What was that? You know what I mean? Like I could have been doing other stuff. The blessing is that one, I kept the music going regardless, and
Mhm.
two, I kept people around me where if I don't do it, they're gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? So like all my friends do music, and I'll be like the crazy one out the group. You know what I mean? Like even out of the Shadow Clan album, or I was in a group called the Splinter Cell, right? And I was the crazy one out the group. You know what I mean? So, but I knew like to keep because like now like that's why again I stick to myself. Like I remember one time where I looked around, and this is before jail. I looked around the room and everybody went to jail except me. I'm like, yo, I'm hanging with the wrong people. So right, and I knew then, and then like I just knew that as like a young person, you know what I'm saying? Because I lived on my own since a kid. But
Mhm.
what's crazy is now I've been to prison and I don't want to be around people that have been to prison. You know what I'm saying? I stick to like where I want to be. You know what I mean? When I get to a certain level, I want to be like people, I want to be around people past that. So it's like, you know what I mean? And like it's not like a taking advantage of a snaky way, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, we all elevate each other, you know what I mean? Even
Yeah,
now, my friends, they're going through shit. They're not really doing music where I'm kind of still doing it. So they can come wherever I am. You can get right next to me and we keep it moving. So I'm glad I was able to meet and have good friends, you know what I'm saying, in special circles. Yeah.
word. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sometimes you got to be the one that they lean on, and sometimes, and if they're good
Yeah.
friends, you can lean on them when you need to, for sure.
And I mean, again, I was all my friends are my family, so I'll jump at the opportunity to help them because they've helped me. I've lived on everybody's couch. Everybody's mom's is my mother. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm always down to help my friends. You know what I'm saying? Or people, period, yo. You know what I mean?
Yep,
You know what I
for
mean? I've
sure.
helped strangers.
So speaking of the Shadow Clan, you did like a curated a 2023 project. It was kind of a tribute. So the Shadow Clan started in the 1990s,
Yeah.
right?
So
Part of Chapter 17,
yeah, that has nothing. The Shadow Clan is a chapter of the Zulu Nation that
right?
I started. I joined it, and that was
Mhm.
that. But the rap group is a bunch, like 5 or 6 of us. And
Okay.
we weren't really a group. We just came together to do that album. Like Shogun was like a solo artist, you know what I'm saying? They weren't, it was just we did it. And even the producer, my friend Biggs, he don't even make beats like that. He's just talented and he just made all the beats. But you know what I mean? I knew that they weren't really rapping like trying to do it like me, but they were talented. So like
Okay.
GS Lance is not Zulu, but he's on the album part of the
Mhm.
group because I need like at least a real, not quote unquote rapper, but someone that is doing it. You know what I mean?
Holds it down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's how we did it.
Okay.
But it's a
Um,
dope album.
so leading up to your show coming up here in Denver, I got to go back actually, because we met you at Bar Red. I don't know, 4 years ago, and maybe you opened, was it Rascast, and you were you were supporting Rascast, is that correct?
The
It's
first
been
time
so
I
long.
met you,
Yeah,
I've been there twice, right? I've seen you twice.
yeah.
Was
Once
it
with
and then the
Rascast
fourth
and Elda Sensei.
and Sadat X, right?
Yeah, yeah. So the Rascast show, I got a funny story, but I was there with my wife, and you were sitting at the bar and she was sitting next to you, and then some drunk guy was like kind of just in her space, and he wasn't hitting on her or anything, he was just like not being respectful of her space, and
Sure.
she like asked him to like move back, and he did, but then he came back, and she always remembers and tells the story how you basically were like, excuse me, you're in the lady's space, give her some space, and the guy was like, oh, sorry man.
Yo,
yeah
that's
she
like I remember that. I remember that.
yeah
Shout
she's
out
been a
to the
big
family.
fan.
Yeah, shout out to the family. That's because that stems from my job as a bouncer. I'm always like, trying to be fake security. Even I was at the EO Dub show on Friday, and I'm all watching the door and like, yeah. But I have to stop doing that. But also, like I know the bar in and out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because I've worked years in it. So like you can kind of see where like there's crazy people and just drunk people and shit
yeah.
like that. But I definitely remember that, yo. And that was in 23, right? 23 had
Yeah, it was kind of like right after COVID was
right.
coming out of the fog. Yeah.
Right. That was
And
dope.
then
That's the time I met
and then the
Ras.
next show, I had my son at the next show, and he got to meet you. So definitely, I think I'm going to be flying solo for this next one coming up. And this next one is Thurston Howell, and
Woo!
you're going to be like supporting this, and yeah, super stoked to see you again. But yeah, tell us about how do you know Thurston Howell? Tell us about your connection to polo, to low life, and all. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know about low lifes, and I had to like learn that because I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe just being out in Colorado, I wasn't cultured enough. But so a lot of people I talk to, they're like, "What?" Like they're like into polo. So go off on that.
Man, the Low Life is a group that used to steal polo back in the day. Well, just steal, period. A bunch of not well, was a group that used to just do boosting, but the main thing that they gravitated to was polo. You know what I'm saying? And it was big. Like no lie, they made Ralph Lauren polo. Period. They kind of changed it. Like if you buy it, there's like history books and there's sections on the low lives. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. Like Thurston has been, he knows Ralph Lauren. Racklow knows Ralph Lauren. But anyway, that's that. One of the founders is Big Vic Low was his low life name, which is Thurston Howard III, the rapper. You know what I mean? So he started, you know what I'm saying, doing that. He also was doing that kind of when low life transitioned into something positive. They stopped doing crime, and he's one of the first ones to stop doing shit and kind of make a change. And then Rack Low and then followed suit. So that's where the hip hop part comes from. Like he's Thurston, someone that was in the underground since Sound Bombing, the Raucous. I remember seeing that when I was in high school. I remember hearing Thurston calling up the radio and freestyling the song The Puerto Rican. In like 2013, 14, groups like Timeless Truth, Mayhem Loren, Action Bronson, Shazil York, right? Spit Gems, they started really coming up, you know what I'm saying? And Thurston Howell, like they're all low life. And Thurston Howell, like that, it's like he kind of not he kind of brought polo kind of back, right? But that's when it has nothing, it's like a simultaneous thing. So he's doing his thing with the rap, and that's kind of bringing the attention back to polo. Because when like there's a period, and they'll all tell you where polo wasn't a thing, it was more like Fat Farm, Tommy Hilfiger kind of. But when I was in high school, it was like fucking Rockaware and all FUBU and shit like that. Ice. So then like later on, it kind of came back in a big way, which is correct. But anyway, as far as me, right? Because I've known FU, Gems, GS Advance was from Broken Home. Like at the same time that I was doing all that shit with G Clef and the Wu-Tang, he's doing all that with Spit Gems and like they're all that low life shit. So I would just go around them and see that. And I remember thinking like, oh, it'd be cool if I did like an album on some Wu-Tang low life shit. And I'm like, me and GS will do that back then. You know what I'm saying? Back then. And that's like 2014. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. I go to jail. I had dreads my whole life, like from like high school till I went to jail, right? So that's years. And then I go to jail and I cut my hair. And then I get these glasses. These glasses is from Rikers Island. I need a new pair. So I get these glasses. I cut my dreads. And I remember saying, yo, I want to start wearing collared shirts. Because one, I was a bouncer, so it's all black. Then I'm like Zulu on some gang shit, so it's like bandanas and then the dreads and shit. So I wasn't really wearing like collared shirts, like polo shirts. Yeah, I swear to God, I think I might have had one my whole life. But then I go to jail, I cut my hair, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, I just want to start, you know what I'm saying, wearing like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, polo, cool. And then I meet a dude in jail that gives me a polo shirt for like visits and shit like that, which is pretty big because one, they're stealing everything. They're not even stealing shit. They'll fight you just so someone else can steal your shit. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. So that was pretty big, and I remember having that. And then my friend that the producer from Shadow Clan, Biggs, he picks me up. He takes me shopping. He was always like a polo head just because it's the thing to do. And then he buys me some clothes. And then he gives me a bag of like polo because he was losing weight. So he gives me a bag and it's like all polo shit, maybe like 8 shirts. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll start my collection. Then I go to something like fucking, it was like the Bushwick Collective one year, right? And then I see someone named Barlow, like the founder of Low Life, Barlow. And then like I knew what it was from Thurston rapping, and like again, I told you with like GS and the, so I'm like, huh. And then Barlow said something to me. He's like, yo, those L's is in your heart. And then no lie, that sparked like a whole shit in my brain. I go home and start like researching like Low Life and shit like that, right? And then I start buying polo. I meet LeBron James, and then we're just not even the first things I started buying, like these medallions and shit like this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it rack low. And I asked honestly, because the question that came is like, you can't wear polo just and be the look. Someone has to make you, like someone has to give you the L's. It's not just because you have a bunch of polo. Someone has to like give you the L's. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I remember hearing that, but I remember asking Rack Low, like, yo, how does someone, get the L's? And he's just like, yo, and then we start building. And then we kind of lose contact. And then I remember, like, when I met LeBron James, I was just buying polo. And I remember talking to him, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of low life too. Like, he's talking to me like I'm low life, but he's not, he's just like, whatever. And I'm like, nah, for real, Rack Low. And he's like, all right. But then it's like what made me, because like I rock with Thurston, you know what I'm saying? I rock with that whole team. But what made me kind of connect is like I met LeBron James. Interesting enough, Louis the Fourth, one of my good friends from Thurston's like inner circle down in Florida, Orlando. He's on some Wu-Tang shit. I knew him from like Papa Wu and all that chamber music shit. And then Louis Low Life. So I'm like, yo, my man Lou, you know what I'm saying? And then LeBron James. And then they just kind of embraced me. I was saying what's interesting to me is that like at a Zulu's more complicated, right? So they have things that Low Life doesn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like hip hop organizations, you know what I'm saying? Zulu's like on some street gang shit, 40, 50 years, and it's more complicated and shit. Where like Low Life, yo, they'll be like, we're doing this event and everyone will show up. You'll see like families, like couples that'll wear like the same. It's like a whole different, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I noticed that, like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? These events where it's like all families and they're low life, but I wanted to be more on like the rap side. I wanted to be with like, you know what I'm saying? And Vic got that. So once we linked, you know what I'm saying? We started doing songs and here we are, you know what I mean? Now we're
Yeah.
doing shows. You know what I mean? We got some other shit we might work on too, you know what I'm saying, that I'm thinking. But it was more that, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
even not even on the music, yo. Like my first when I've like I went everywhere. I've been to all the events, you know what I'm saying, where it's just I just show up like, a regular person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not a regular person, but not someone that's like, the rapper Just-P. I'm just here for like whatever the event is, you know what I'm saying? And there's mad good people that are low lifes, like whole families, like I said, the wife, the husband, the kid, you know what I mean, or dressing like it's amazing how they do that. And these are like regular people that have like jobs and shit. And
Right.
like, and I'm like, huh, would I do that as my like with a like you? I don't. You're married, so like things to do, and that's things that they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I respect the culture. I've met a lot of good people, and it's just as like I told Philo, like Philo last time I seen him, he's like, yo, you're doing your thing, and I'm like, yo, I'm just here to rep the movement and push it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not super like. There's people that are like heavy into polo. Like there's like people that are super heavy and expensive. There's
Yeah.
super levels that I'm not even on, but I just respect it. So I'm just here,
Yeah.
rep with a 1-2, kick my raps, and that's
I
that.
I
Shout out
was
to
looking on Facebook Marketplace and just like sweaters are like
God.
$2,500, jackets like two. Yeah, it's crazy.
And then you'll see like one time LeBron James, shout out to him, he was just like, yeah, a couple of pieces. People buy houses off this. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy, but it's dope. It's dope. It's
Yeah.
dope. It's
So
dope.
look, that there's one event coming up in Miami in April, right? Love and Loyalty Weekend.
Yeah, so that's so Thurston, he went and he lives in Florida. He moved and he went and founded the chapters, two chapters out there, Orlando in Miami. You know what I'm saying? So that's like their love and loyalty weekend, because there's one in New York too, but Orlando's like kind of the big one where, because they do it every year, and not just they do it, they have the whole town, the whole town pops out. They have the whole town pop out for like the whole weekend. It's dope. And yo, I just go. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like. I'll perform, but I just go to be a part of it. I go down there and stay with my friends. It's like my family and their kids. You know what I mean? I'm about to go again, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? One time, you never know. Like one year, Planet Asia was there. They got something they called where they'll rent an Airbnb and just watch like exclusive videos and shit like that. You know what I mean? Young Hump from Digital Underground's always out there. It's dope. Dope.
That's awesome. That sounds fun.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Sweet. So you're coming out March 21st, next Saturday. We're Thurston Howell at Bar Red.
Right.
And then you're going to Love and Loyalty. Do you have any projects? Are you working on projects now?
Oh man.
Do you have any release dates, or do you want to give us any teasers?
I'm here. Yo, what's crazy is, and I'm gonna tell you, I mean, I'm gonna let you finish, as Kanye said, right? Yo, you're the man, yo. You're into a lot of music, and you support, and like you're like knowledgeable, and that's dope. That's super dope. And doing shit like this is the move. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you're doing this. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I have surface level information. There's so much hip hop, and like now it's like anyone can be a rapper, anyone can be a producer, but I know what I like.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean? And I honestly, I could be a critic, except I don't like to write. So I know what I like, and I know it sounds good, and definitely like love your music and the stuff you put out, and it gets me fired up, dude. It's just like, oh yeah, I love this, dude.
I try to like, man, it's for me, but it's for me, and then like people that know me, my son, and then since I've lived in a lot of situations and places, I know I can relate to a lot of different people. So if it like the more like pushing it to get out there as much as I can is like the goal, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can hear it and or relate. Like sometimes I'll put shit where like even just me, I'll listen to it and be like, oh, I remember what I was doing that night. You know what I'm saying? Or like what's fires with my son. He'll be like, he'll send me the song he's listening to. And I mean, he hasn't come to me yet like, oh, I heard what you said about me. Or I heard, you know what I mean? But I know he's listening. So I put things in there that he can hear and kind of take from, even though I'm always talking to him anyway and beating him in the head anyway. But, you know, in the music, it's there. And then it's like the people, you know what I'm saying? So that's always the goal. But I do shit like that with the music. So I'm waiting for when people come back like, oh, so sometimes they actually have like, oh, I heard you like reference shit I put in there. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way GS Advance, he be putting like fucking hidden tracks in his albums for to hear people, you know what I'm saying? So it's dope.
Okay.
But as far as like projects, I got the 50 pack, right? The 50 pack, this new album with the Havoc song. It's a collection. It came from, it's not even, it's like my version of a mixtape. That's why I kind of call it the 50 pack if I'm like you know, still doing dumb shit. But that would be my pack, you know what I'm saying? And on that album is Havoc's on there. I got a song with Cool G Rap on there. I got a song with Big Twins. Ren Thomas is on there. I got Unknown Misery from Babylon War Child. I got my son Mike Martinez producing. GS Advance is on there. And I like it. I like it. It's dope, but it's more like just some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no real concepts. I got no skits on there, no like none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just real, you know what I mean, smoke. After that, I got an album with Josiah Hotwire, who's he's kind of down with the whole BSF clique, the Black Soprano family shit. You know what I'm saying? So I got an album with him. Sule's on there. He's from Black Soprano family. He's on there. then I'm working on with this producer CG from Griselda. Done a lot of West Side Gun shit. We just started working together, so I'm trying to drop that. There's something we like Deep from Two Hungry Brothers, which does a lot of Homeboy Sandman stuff. He does a lot of stuff with FU. We got a bunch of songs soon. That might come soon too, because we're almost done. And then I just keep it moving. Like honestly, me and GS, the best is like where we just do what we want to do. I go to his crib like every week. You know what I'm saying? And what we got cooking up is fire. But that's almost right there. The whole year right there. What is that, 4? You know what I'm saying? That's enough. Like even now, like like the 50 pack was supposed to come out Friday.
Okay.
It ain't coming out Friday. So which pushes everything else back. It's kind of hard, and it's not hard, but it's hard when you have other people that, you know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, I like when shit's in-house as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? I know me and G Clef are working on the new Brooklyn Zoo album, you know what I'm saying, with Boot 'em Up. You know what I mean? The Brooklyn Zoo Mafia. So I'm gonna help Clef with that. And that's pretty much it for the year, yo. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can get all that done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look forward to all that coming out. You know, I'm a big fan, so. Well, so
I never think people listen. I'm just because I mean, no, like I'm glad I'm glad there's people like you and there's just you. Even if it's just you, I'm because I do the music and people do it, but it's like I need to be able where music can be what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about other shit, maintaining life. You know what I'm saying? But I never think I'm still thinking like no one pays attention, and people be like, "Yo, you're bugging," but I'm just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's why I like to push it. I like to push it on my story. I'm always supporting people that I like. First of all, I'll always say that any artist that connects with their fans, I'm going to support. I'm going to go harder for that artist than I am for someone that brushes me off. And the fact that your music is great helps, right? But yeah, definitely you're like a genuine character, and I appreciate you for who you are.
Right. What's crazy is I used to I never not like sometimes I can be like civilian with music, kind of like just like a person that listens. But I just remember trying to reach out to people. You know what I'm saying? I don't make beats. I used to reach out to artists and be like, "Yo, you know, I got some beats for you if you give us a feature and shit like that." And they'd be GS's beats and shit. I'm like, mine. You know? And sometimes people would be like, you know, and I didn't get it. I kind of get it now, but also there's no excuse for that, because I mean, yo, you just got to be like respectful to people, period. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't want to brush anybody off. And also, man, like that's what it's for. When people, if people do, because there's people that are still doing music and it's not even out there like that. So it's weird how you're in something for the world, but you're kind of standoffish. You know what I'm saying? It's mad weird. So, and I'm a people person, period. So I'm always down to talk to like everybody. I talk to like all kinds of different people. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate, you know what I mean, that type of interaction. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also like, if you on the business side too, if you kind of support the music, then I would take your contact and your email and kind of put it in my database. I remember one time I was talking to Mickey Fax, and we had worked together where he did a breakdown, and he was like, you should respond to everybody that, you know what I mean, that comment. Every comment is what he told me, and I do that. I do that now anyway. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, you know what I'm saying. And also, I don't like to be disregarded. You do that to me, I get tight, you know what I'm saying? I get upset, so I don't do that to people, you know what I mean? And you like I find it amazing. Like there's people like you that listen to like a lot of music and everything. Like I have another friend that's like you named Max Lowe, and he listens to everybody's shit and he picks out the lyrics and he makes books about that, and he listens to an insane amount of albums. And I'm like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate, you know what I mean, people that do that, because that's how it kind of That's how we live, right? Because it's not like we're fucking mainstream artists. There's people like you know what I'm saying, that listen to shit and support it. You know what I mean? And that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So shout out to you. You know what I mean?
For sure, bro. Well, I always like to finish the podcast with like some words of wisdom or an anecdote, words of advice for young artists.
People used to say things and I'd be like, yo, you want to stay down, you got to come up. Or I used to say stupid dumb shit like a fake pimp. But in real talk, man, keep doing what you're doing. I know you hear that a lot, but keep trying. Even like, and I'll use me for an example. Like during the day, I'm a social worker for at-risk youth, right? Troubled kids. And I'm gonna say something that I tell them all the time, or even just my son. Like everyone kind of has a God purpose or a God power. And the best thing to do, honestly, is to get that to work for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna work for someone else. Like when I was in prison, there were people that had no money, but generated thousands of dollars each day and could not access any of that money. They're broke, but that it cost like $20,000 to maintain. Broke man here begging for fucking chips, right? But he can't go borrow from his 20,000, and that's so. It's like make your God power work for you. You know what I'm saying? As best you can. So it's like as far as the music, no matter what, just me, no matter what, I make whatever goal I can in any situation. Whatever goal I can. Like if I can't get to the studio, write some rhymes. If I can't do that, then kind of network and look at whatever I can do. And no matter where I am, sometimes there's one album where I live. There's a couple albums where I live in people's houses and it's whatever, and all I can do is just write and do that. So, and any progress is good. You know what I'm saying? I can sleep at night with any progress. You know what I'm saying? As long as it moves, I'll pick it back up the next day. You know what I'm saying? Pick it back up. So do the best you can with what you got. You know what I'm saying? Basically. You know what I mean?
Great advice. Great advice. Bro, I can't wait to see you next weekend. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make you go out with me Friday night to that after party.
Oh yeah. I'm going. I'll go.
Right.
If you come get me, I'll go.
All right, Sloan Bone. We're gonna go. I'll try to get you. What's that? It's Friday night. It's the night you come in.
No, I'm saying, what is Sloan Bone? A group? It's a group.
He's from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's like Lazy Bone sidekick. Oh, I shouldn't say that. They do albums together. So
what?
Yeah, Lazy Bone and Sloan Bone. Big Sloan, they call him. So it'll be dope.
There's that's what's up. There's another one because I feel my dude Master of Ceremonies, Brian. He works with the Mo Thugs family.
Yeah. I think he's bringing him out. See
that? Oh.
Yeah. Right. I know MOC too, dude. I just know him through his producer promoting at Bar Red. So
I met him through the chamber music shit, the Wu-Tang shit. You know what I'm saying? He was doing that with Holocaust and American Poets. That's how I know him. And
he's dope. I love that dude.
Yeah, he's good people. And he was just like, yo, we're doing these shows. I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? I start doing, and that's how we started doing it. We got a couple albums that we put out. This album is with Clockton Records, which is on Master of Ceremonies. You know what I mean? Willie Maestro. You know what I mean? So I'm always down to, you know what I mean, connect with people, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm there, yo. Where's you? Whatever you get me, I'm there. If it could be in fucking Alaska, we out there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, brother. Peace. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
No doubt.
All right. Peace, brother.